I like to really separate the mixing and the creative process. But just little things like this to help get a vibe and get the groove punching through a bit more, I like to do straight away. Okay, there we go. So mixed in with the drums. That's without it. Just fattens it up a little bit, gives it some volume. And that's the basis of the groove. So now I'm going to add some more layers in. And this sort of brings me to my tip number 2 for drums is to layer the shit out of your stuff. Sometimes it doesn't always need it. Sometimes you can get away with just a simple kick and snare, like one thing for each, but I really like to beef it up. And this is kind of what gives it my sound, I guess, is like really layering everything together and having lots of things going on at the same time. So I'm now going to add an addictive drums layer, which is just a sampled live sounding thing. If anyone knows the Free Nationals out there, they really smash this thing, Addictive Drums. I think most of their album was actually made with this particular kit here, the Vintage Dry. As you'll hear, it's got that sound. Nice. So I just flicked through a preset there. I found one that sounds kind of nice. I might try this one. Yeah, that's quite nice. So I'm going to now, I'm going to sort of duplicate the hi-hat. That's nice. Cool. So it's taking a bit longer. Won't be too long. So 1 second. Okay, here we go. Okay, so now that's on top of the groove. So what I'm going to do now is actually, it just sounds a little bit heavy to me. So I'm going to go into Fab Filter here. And there's a really nice preset in here to kind of give it some sizzle on the top end and take out the lows. And for some reason, I don't know why, but it just sounds better than like doing an EQ. It seems to add something to it rather, EQ can sometimes, like, obviously can brighten stuff up too, but this just adds something a little bit more special. So you can see here, I'll turn that up a bit. Takes out a bit of the lows and also, there we go. And it's also got a little bit of a room sound to it as well, which I think that's one thing that really helps glue your drum loops together is when it has this like a little bit of room reverb on the hats and the snare and stuff. So let's mix that in now. Yeah, it just adds a little bit of something to it. Makes it sound a bit fuller. It's got a little bit more low end than that sampled hat that we put in. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to do the same to the snare. We've got our nice electronic sounding snare with the Linn drum. And we've also got that funkadelic one laid on top. But I'm just going to add one more here with the addictive drums. Nice. just got a little bit of room reverb. I'm going to delete the satin off that. Okay. So again, we're going to use this MIDI, just copy it over. Delete all that other stuff. Cool. Ever so subtle, but just the reverb that's on that Addictive Drums there adds a bit of, yeah, it makes it feel like it's in the same sort of room now rather than quite dry. It's just subtle, but it does add something to it. Okay, cool. I'm just going to add one more snare just to give it a little bit more punch. I'm going to use another sampled one from, this time from Diana Ross. Here we are. Really nice snare sample here. Yeah. So I'm going to layer that on top of this one. And if I was going to, like, sometimes I'd actually go ahead and pick 4 snares out of this loop, or maybe more, to really get a different hit on each one. But just in the interest of saving time here, I'm just going to use the one. But yeah, sometimes I will go a little bit crazy to get that live feeling and do a bunch of them all together. So let's copy that over. That's nice. Just beefs it up. That extra layer there gives it some more low end, a bit more punch. Nice. Okay, so that's the basic meat and potatoes of the groove there. Another thing I will do to glue it all together even more is I'm going to add a compressor. So just a basic Wave CLA 2A. And I just want it compressing it like 5 or so dB. Not too much, but just so it's doing a little bit. Let's hear the difference. Bringing up the level a bit, so I'll turn the gain down. Yeah, it just sort of glues it together nicely. And then I'll do one more layer. I'm going to use the Ableton Saturator. That thing is amazing. I'm still stuck on Live 9. Actually, I haven't even upgraded to 10 yet, which I know a lot of my friends say is a big sin because Live 10 is so fucking good. And I know they've just released 11 now as well. But I'm honestly quite happy in 9. Like, it does everything I need to do. People are making great music on, stuff much less than this. So I'm quite happy. So the saturator, it adds a little bit of, if you really push it, it adds lots of distortion to the sound. So obviously that's quite extreme, but if you mix it in just a little bit, it glues it together and adds this nice little bit of compression and just distortion as well. I'm going to turn this signal down a bit. Okay. I just want to hear it doing a little bit of work. Cool. That's a pretty good place to start.